Okay. So what constraint is? So far we have created a table and we have inserted a data into the table. Okay. So while inserting a data, so we have seen some type of errors like string or binary data would be truncated, or conversion error, converting the value from varchar to numeric, and arithmetic overflow error. These type of errors we have seen so far. So for to fix these errors, what we did, what type of errors are these? Are they related to any data, or are they related to data type?
Data type.
So whatever the errors we have seen till yesterday, till last class, the errors are related to the data type. Because if the whatever the data that you are trying to store into a column, if the type of data type is matching, then it will letting you insert. If the data type is not matching, then it is throwing an error. Okay, which means what the insert statement first will check is, it will check whatever the value that you are providing to the S number column. So let's say here I have a 1. I'm just trying to store this one value 1 into the S number column. So what is the data type? The data type of S number, which is int. So int will allow numbers. Yes, it is satisfying. It is satisfying. Let's say, let me create a table. This table. Our database is sample database, and just I created the table and I inserted the data. Created a table and inserted a data. Suppose if I insert this record again, just check this data. See, student number 1 and name is Raju and course is Talent and his mobile number is some like 1234 and his email is raju@gmail.com and his date of joining is 2022 January 1st. Okay, this is the information. If I run this insert statement again, will it run or not?
It will run.
Yes, it runs.
Okay. Okay, executed and one more record was inserted. So same record has been inserted again. So in generally in the student table, only one record would be there for a student, right? General. So no two students should have the same student number. And the two table should not have any duplicates. First thing is the table should not contain any duplicate entries. So if you see, all of these values are same. Do you see any difference between these two records?
Nothing is different.
No difference. So if no difference means which is
Duplicate
records or not?
Yes, yes.
So generally the table should not have any duplicates. Huh? That is one thing. Suppose while inserting this, this is one thing. And I am inserting one more record. He is Ramu. And also joined on the same date. Now let me insert one more record. See, and the third row is 1 Ramu and course is Talent. His mobile number is 1235 and his email is ramu@gmail.com and the date of joining. Guys, please mute yourself, please. Okay. So though the name is different, name and mobile number and email is different, but the S number, student number is same. So do you see any case the two students have the same student ID?
No.
No.
No. Which means in our first scenario,
Okay.
two records have the same values. Guys, please.
Please mute yourself, guys.
Okay. So when you see these two records, the record is duplicate. But when compared with these records, the other information, apart from the student number, the other information is different. But student number is same. Logically, no two students will have the same student ID, which means though you are inserting an inconsistent data, do you see this data is consistent? No, right?
No, no.
No.
Yes. So the table is having inconsistent data. So why the table is allowing inconsistent data? So you are not putting any conditions. This is simply checking whether the data type is mapping or not. If the data type is allowing, then it will simply insert the record. It will not check any other conditions. So to maintain a data consistency, so we need to put some conditions on top of conditions on columns, table columns. How we have defined the data type, and on top of that, you will define one more condition. So in this column, suppose in this S number, if you are trying to insert the same value, which means one already is there. If you are inserting a one more record with the same student number, it should throw error. Right? So in generally in our student table, the student name number should not be repeated. Okay. So to maintain the consistent data, so we have a concept called constraints. We'll create a constraints. Constraint is nothing but a condition we can keep on a table columns. We can keep on a table columns. So constraint raise automatically whenever you perform DML operations on a table. Constraint raises automatically whenever you are performing a insertion or updation or deletion which does not meet the condition, constraint condition, then it will raise. Got it, guys? Why we go for a constraints?
Yes.
Okay. So what are the types of constraints we have available in the SQL Server? Not only in SQL Server, even apart from default, everyone is same in Oracle as well. Okay. What are the types of transactions available? First one is primary key, not null, unique, default, check, and foreign key. Foreign key will be discussed later and later. Later means after all this completion, then we will go for a foreign key. Okay. Primary key. What is the primary key is? This is the one constraint, primary key constraint. So if you define a column with the primary key constraint, so how you are defining a column with the integer data type or string data, means varchar data type or datetime data type, in the same way you can define a column with the primary key constraint. So if you are defining a column with primary key constraint, so what it will do is it will not allow any duplicate values and null values. It will not allow any duplicate values and null values. That's why we call it as the combination of. It will not allow any duplicate values means we'll be having a distinct values or not.
Yes.
Distinct values. So that's why it is a combination of unique and not null. Okay. So, but here the limitation is only one primary key can be created on a table. On a table, we can create only one primary key. So if you want to create a primary key on multiple columns, to create a primary key on multiple columns, then we call that as a composite primary key. If you are creating a primary key on multiple columns, see the third statement is saying only one primary key can be created on a table. Then the next statement is saying if you create a primary key on multiple columns, then it is a composite primary key. How these two will match? Because in the third law, I am saying only one primary key, but here I am talking about two columns. It's not possible, right? But it is possible if you create a constraint at a table level. See, if you are creating a primary key on multiple columns, that can be possible only at a table level. That will practically we'll see. No, don't bother about it. I'll show you. how you can create a primary key and a single column, and how you can create a primary key and multiple columns. Okay. Anyone has any questions on a primary key? Can I go further?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, not null. Next constraint is a not null. It will not allow to store any null values. Suppose so far, if you are not providing any value to the column, what is the default value?
Null.
Null value. Suppose if that column is defined with the not null constraint, so
It will be 0.
that column is defined with the not null constraint and you are not providing any value, then
Krishna, your voice is breaking.
It will be 0.
is it only to you or to everyone?
It is clear for us.
It's
It's
clear,
clear, Krishna.
Clear,
Clear,
Krishna.
sir.
Clear, sir.
Okay.
Maybe
Network
due to
issue
some
maybe.
weather
Disconnect
changes
and
some
connect
areas.
it again once.
Yeah, weather is changing some areas, so maybe.
Okay. So let's say, so in any of the table, if you are not providing a value to any of the column, then the default value is null. Okay. Suppose that column is defined with a not null constraint and you are not provide while inserting a data, you are not provided any value to that column, then what will happen?
We'll take 0 or blank.
No. See, that is a not null column. And if you have, you are not providing anything. If you are not providing anything means default value is what? Null.
Null.
So what it is, what the Oracle SQL engine is doing is, it is trying to insert the null value into the not null column. It is trying to insert the null value into not null column, then it will fail. It will throw you an error. Not null constraint error will come. That's what the intention of this constraints is.
Can we use primary key as identity also?
Sorry.
Identity.
Guys, please mute yourself. This background noise is coming and I'm not able to hear any questions.
Please mute all, Krishna, then who will speak, they will.
Yeah, whoever who is asking a question just can unmute and
Can we keep primary key as identity as well?
I think from your background only I'm hearing.
Shiva Shankar.
Yeah, tell yeah, you can ask me now. Hello. Okay. Yeah, you can use primary key as identity as well, but identity is something different. Okay, if you are using identity column means it will never generate the duplicate value. It will never generate the duplicate value. So the best identity column is the best suits for primary key. That is okay. Unique. Anything different? Okay. Next, unique. It will not allow any duplicate values. It will not allow any duplicate values, which means if you are trying to insert the same value again and again, if you are trying to insert the same value, then it will throw an error, because if you are defining a column with a unique constraint, that will not allow you to store any duplicate values, but it will allow one null value. But it will allow one null value. See, what is the difference between primary key and unique? Primary key and unique both will not allow you to store duplicate values. Primary key and unique key both will not allow you to store duplicate values. But the main difference between these two is primary key will not allow any null values, but unique key will allow only one null. But okay, unique constraint will allow only one null value. Next one. a default constraint. Default constraint means, suppose if you are not providing any value to the column, default value is null, will be populating. Suppose you don't want to populate with null value. If you're not providing a value to any of the column, by default null value will be inserted. So now you don't want to insert a null value. You want to insert something other than null. So you can create a default constraint on that column and you can keep that value there. So whenever you are not providing a value to that column, by default, whatever you have defined, the default value, that will populate instead of null.
Like get this.
Okay. Check constraint. Suppose in the students generally will start paying fees, right? So there will be a lot of manual mistakes would happen. So some of guys has already paid 10,000 as a fee, and while typing 10,000, unfortunately I have added one more zero to it. Will it allow or not? Integer will allow or not?
It will allow.
Yeah. So if it is allowing, and then at the end of the day, if you are summing it up, so one person's fee is getting equals to the 10 students fee or not? Instead of 10,000, it is by manual mistake, it was 1 lakh.
Yes.
So to avoid such cases, or if you want to restrict anything, if you want to keep any list of values, if you want to keep any range of values, then you can go for a check. Then you can go for a check constraint. This foreign key will define it later. Once we are done with all these practical, then I'll go for a foreign key if we have a time. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. I'm just creating a table. Let me drop a student table first. Whatever I have created. Okay. Dropped it. Let me create a same then. The table structure will look like the same only. There will be no change, further changes. So here the first column is S number, and I am defining to store only integers. Okay, S number column is defined to store integers, and next condition would be in S number. What would be the next condition? Is there any possibility that student number will be having null values?
No.
And does it has any duplicates?
No.
No, right? So if you want to restrict these two, and means S number should not allow nulls and it should not allow duplicates. And then what would be the constraint that we can fit here?
Primary key.
Primary constraint.
Primary key.
Primary key constraint. So when I am defining a primary key on this column, this will not allow any duplicates and this will not allow any null values. And comes to S name. So is there any student with no name?
No.
No.
So name can be duplicated.
Yes.
So which means compulsory value should be there.
Unique.
Either the value is the same or different, or it doesn't matter, right?
Oh, yes.
Then what would be the best constraint we can fit here? Compulsory value should be there. Should
Unique.
not load null.
No. Default.
Not null.
Default.
Default.
See, default when if you are not providing any value to the column, and if you want to keep in such scenarios, if you want to keep some default value, then you can go for a default. See, I see around 100 people are joined. Is there any student without name?
No.
No,
Here
right?
we can use
Everyone has the
not.
name.
Yes.
Can use not.
This not null. Right or not? So compulsory value should be there. Whatever the value that you are storing is the same or not, which is not a matter, but value should be there. That's it. Next, course. By default, we are providing a talent while inserting a record. Suppose if I am not inserting any record, sorry, if I am not providing any value to the course column, I just wanted to make that value as def instead of null, I want to make it SQL. Got it, guys? If I insert any value, that value will be there. If I am not inserted any value, instead of default, so if I am not inserting any value, what is the default value? Null. Instead of null, this SQL should be stored. Okay. Next. Got it, guys? This course. Next, mobile. Generally, the mobile number. What is the best constraint we can fit it? What type of data will mobile will have?
Primary key.
Unique.
We can use check.
Primary key.
Primary key.
Yes.
No, it's not a primary because primary key should be
Maybe check.
Just read this.
only one primary key should be there. No?
Only one.
Already you have created a primary key, right? S number. So see,
Unique.
already it is throwing an error. Cannot add multiple primary key constraint to the table.
Unique.
Can we use unique?
Yes. See, it's not compulsory that you use this. Depends upon your requirement. First, you need to know what type of data this column holds. What do you know first is what type of data this column is going to hold. So based on that, you need to check which constraint will fit for this. Whatever the constraints I am giving, these are the same constraint that you don't need to assign. The type, how you can arrange the data, so what S number holds. In our next exercise, I will show you. Not a problem. Okay. And email also the similar, like, right? No two students or no two people will be having the same email. Okay. Unique.
Yes, unique.
And instead of date of joining, sorry guys. Instead of date of joining, I'm just keeping fee. In future, I just wanted to store integer values. So I want to keep the condition like check. 1 and 10,000. If the value that you are providing into fee column should be between 1 and 10,000. If it exceeds, then it will fail. Here I have given a condition. Whatever the value that you are storing into this fee column should be between 1 and 10,000 only. Okay. Let me create a table. We are done with creation of a table. Anyone has any questions while here assigning a data types, assigning a constraints?
No, not so far.
Okay. So now I am inserting, instead of date of joining, Here it is a fee. I'm just keeping 1,000. See, student number, student name, course, mobile, email, fee. So I'm just processing a values. Student number 1. Here 1 I am processing into student number. What is student number? Student number is defined with the integer and with the primary key. So since this is very first record, there is nothing to check in the table whether this what are the value that you are trying to insert is a duplicate or not. So since this is very first record, it will allow inserted or not. Check it now. Okay. So if I try to insert this record now, again, will it insert or will it fail?
It failed.
Obviously failed.
It failed.
What is the error it is coming?
Terminated. PK student.
Constraint.
Duplicate.
Primary key.
Memory key
So if you want to
constraint.
see the constraints you have created, go to Object Explorer, go to sample database, select and refresh it first. Expand it, go to tables. Sometimes it is taking time. Okay, let it come. Okay, here it is saying violation of primary key constraint, which means you are trying to insert either null value into the primary key column or you are trying to insert duplicate value. See here, it is clearly saying cannot insert duplicate key in object dbo.student. Primary key violation comes in two scenarios. Either you are trying to insert a duplicate value into the primary key column or trying to insert a null value. In either of these two scenarios, primary key violation will come. Okay. In our case, we are trying to insert the same record. So here clearly saying cannot insert duplicate value. Okay, good. Okay. I've just make change to 1 to 2. Now can I?
No.
No.
Right?
The email is unique. I think.
See. What is the error we are getting?
Mobile number, please.
Unique key violation and which constraint? Email. So okay, good. I am just making it as a Razu 1. Now it is not unique. Can I now?
No mobile number. No mobile number. Mobile number also.
Mobile. Now run it now. Now we are getting again violation. See, mobile number. 1, 2, 3, 4. Can I now?
Yes.
Yes.
So which means if I want to make a insert of any new record, what are all the values to be changed? Stress number,
Student number.
Mobile number.
Mobile number.
Email.
Mail ID.
okay. So, got it right? Yes. So primary key constraint, unique key constraint. Now we'll check.
Why it is not throwing all the errors at a time, Krishna? First it throws
No,
the errors.
see, SQL engine will go step by step.
Okay.
So first it will check the it will do the syntax check.
Yes.
It will not directly go to the see. Suppose if I keep double comma here, or not here, here, okay, comma. See, first it will go and check the incorrect syntax. First it will check the syntax. The syntax is corrected, then it will go to the data. Then it will check the table step by step. Okay. 4, 7, 3. So here, I don't want to provide a value to the course column. So if I am not providing a value to the course column, then what is the default value?
SQL.
Yes.
In generally, it would be null. But while defining this column definition, we gave the default value as
Default SQL.
SQL.
SQL. See, first student number 4 got SQL or not?
SQL.
Okay. Next. So for student name also I am not providing a value. Will it allow?
No.
Why?
I think it allows. Okay.
It's not null. Not
Not
null.
null.
Yeah, S name is defined with not null value, not null column, and you are trying to insert. You are not providing any value. If you are not providing any value, default value is null. You are trying to insert null value into the not null column, so it is failing. So we compulsory should provide a value to S name. Okay. And I'm just trying to provide 1 lakh here. The insert statement complete with the check constraint. This. See. Complete with fee. So if you want to check the definition of all these. So I have created a table. If you want to know what are the constraints already created on a table. So here we have expanded. See here keys is there. Primary key and unique key. Not null and check constraint. Default and check constraint. Okay. So, and one more thing. SP underscore help. Student. This is a standard system procedure. You can do exec. So it will give you the table details. This is a student table and the owner is the DBO and this is the user table and created it on this. What are the columns it has? What are the data types and its sizes? Okay. See indexes. You can see what is the definitions you have given. Greater than or equals to 1 and less than or equals to 10,000. exec sp underscore help. Okay, this is the standard procedure. Definition of the table. Okay. See, whatever the constraint names you are seeing here is created by us. names. Constraints are created by us, but the names are defined by us or no, right?
No.
These are the names that was defined by the system. Okay, system defined names these are. Anyone
Then-
has any questions so far?
Is there any meaning to the names defined by system? Like CA1FE, what does that mean? It's just a number or anything specific?
No, it's a system defined number. Identification, that's
Just a number, that's it, right?
it. Yes, yes.
Okay.
This is a shuffled number, I think, right?
Yes, yes. Okay. Anyone has any questions?
No.
Now my requirement is okay. Now my requirement is, let's say in the about discussion what we have discussed is, so in the student table, student will not be having multiple records, but there might be a chance. So in our institute we are offering two courses, Talent and SQL. So the same student might join both, or some students might join only Talent, or some students might join only SQL, and some students might join both as well. So whoever is joined both will be having a two records or not? Possible
Yes.
or not?
Yes.
So in that case, so the student number will be having a duplicate entry or not?
Yes.
Yes.
On what basis it would be unique?
Course basis?
So even a single course you will go?
No.
How to create on that course table.
Student and course, right? The unique is that student number and course, right?
Yes.
The combination of student number and course should be unique, and you should not be having a more records on this combination. Which means the primary key to be created on these two columns, right or not? So
Yes.
what I have told, if you want to create a primary key on a multiple columns, that cannot be possible at
Table.
column level. That can be only possible at table level. Constraint name, primary key of, what are the columns?
Student number and course.
Student number and course. Okay, here you need to remember two things. So the not null constraint cannot be created at a table level. That can be created only at a column level, and default also. Okay. And suppose you want to create a unique constraint at a table level also, you can do same thing. Constraint name. I'm just copy pasting. This is unique constraint, and what we will create UQ underscore mobile okay.
Email ID.
No, when you are keeping both in a single, then it will be combination.
Okay.
Okay, see how it would be is mobile, email, some 1 2 3 4 Raju, 1 2 3 4 Raju. Okay, when you are defining unique of mobile comma email, these two are unique records because it will check the combination 1 2 3 4 Raju and 1 2 3 4 Raghu. But when you are checking an individual unique of mobile, this is a duplicate.
Yes.
So when you are defining a single column, the 1 2 3 4 is a duplicate or not? Yes. Forget about email.
Yes, it's a duplicate.
Okay. Mobile. I am defining unique key and mobile. If I am trying to insert 1 2 3 4 again, it will fail or not?
Yes, it will fail.
When I am creating a unique key and email alone, if I am trying to give Raju alone, it will fail or not because the same value you are giving.
Yes, it will fail.
So when you are creating a unique key constraint on mobile and email together, like this, then it will check the combination. 1 2 3 4 Raju. 1 2 3 4. In general, if you create a unique key constraint on only mobile, then it is a duplicate. It will not allow you to store 1 2 3 4. And here, if there is a value change, so when you are creating unique on both the columns, it will check the combination. Okay. So it depends upon your requirement. If you want to keep it a combination, you can keep it. If you want to maintain it individual, you can maintain it. Individual is different and combination is different.
Okay, got it.
Not only in this case, whenever you are trying to check the duplicate records. So when how you are how to find the duplicate records in the sense? How and what basis you are checking the duplicates? On one column or two columns or three columns or four columns. So if it is a single column, it is different. When you are taking a two columns, the combination should be unique. When you are taking a three columns combination should be unique. Then only you can mark it as a duplicate. Okay, even this also we can create a check. So this is already created, right? This is also done. Constraint. Okay. See. Okay, 1 and 10,000. So now I am just going to drop the existing table and creating. And just refresh the student table. So see columns and keys. Now we are seeing the names that were defined by us or not.
Yes.
Okay, this is how you can create a table at a column at a table level. Constraints at a table level. So see, simple again. You can insert this record. And if you are trying to insert the record, same record again, will it allow you to insert?
No.
What are the values to be changed?
No.
Mobile number.
Mobile number and
Mobile number and email.
Hmm.
Email.
Next.
PO.
Student number.
Serial number. Huh?
Yes.
So why can't I change the group? Course.
Serial number, course. Yeah.
Will it allow? Have created a primary key and the combination of student number and course. Which means the record should be unique at this level. So this is one talent and I am inserting one SQL, which is a distinct record or different record or same record.
Different.
Different record.
Different record or not?
Yes.
So
Yeah,
when
yes.
last time
Yes.
when last time primary key is created on only S number. That's why it's checking only S number. Now I'm creating an S number and course. See. Got it, guys? This is what the constraints. So anyone has any questions? And we are left with the foreign key constraint. I'll start that. If anyone has any questions till so far, I'll clear it.
No, sir, it is clear.
Okay. Next, foreign key constraint. It is used to establish the permanent relation between columns of two different tables. It is used to establish the permanent relation between columns of two different tables. Okay, I will show you how. I am creating course table, course ID. Okay, I'm creating a course table, course ID and course name. Okay, I'm inserting some values to it. Course ID 1, talent, two, SQL, okay, I'm inserting this, inserting course values. And to make more unique, course ID comma course name. Okay, I've inserted 4 records. So these are the courses we have available. And next I'm just creating a student table. As number. Student number, student name, and the course ID. Okay. So let me insert a data. To student. As number, as name, course ID. Values. 1 comma. Raju. 1. Two. Sorry. Student number 2. Number 3. Two. And number 4. Okay. So here see student number, student name, course ID. So 1 is the student number and Raju is his name, and course ID is 1. And 2 is student number 2, Raghu, and his course. Like that I'm inserting this data to this. Okay. No. So I have created 2 tables. What are the tables I have created? Course
Student and
table,
course.
and
student.
Course and student. Out of these 2, which one is the parent table and which one is the child table?
Parent table
Course is the parent table.
Course is the parent table and student is the child table. Yes. So students will come based on the available courses only, right? So if you keep a pamphlet or signboard or something like that, the students can see and come to the institute, right? Course is the parent table and student is the child table. So now select star from student. Student number 1 is Raju and his course ID is 1. What is the course ID 1?
talent.
Primary key.
Course ID 1. So because here I have inserted very low, very minimal values that you can remember. 1 is talent. And what is 2? Course ID 2?
SQL.
Student number 1 Raju is learning talent.
Talent.
Student number 2 Raghu is learning SQL. Student number 3 Ramu is also learning SQL. Student number 4 Rajesh is learning Azure. But no one is with Java. Okay. So from the student table, if you want to come to know what the course he is learning, so from where you will get those information, course information. I have queried the student table. So I just wanted to know the course information. So from where you are getting those course information?
Course table.
Course table. So which means these 2 tables are
Connect.
connected or not, dependent or not?
Yes.
Dependent in the sense, sir, these 2 tables has a relation.
Yes.
Do you see there are any physical relation? Permanent relation?
Same values. ID. Course ID.
Yeah,
Side is the
values
same.
you are seeing, but do you see? So if there is a relation, let's say I'm
There is
just
a
going
primary
to
can form like
drop. No, I'm just going to delete from course where course ID equals to 2. I am just going to delete a course ID 2 from the course table. It is deleted. Select star from student. I have two. How many students are there with the course ID 2?
2 students.
But do you have a course available?
No.
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 Means this is a consistent data.
No.
No.
Before generally, if it is really wanted to delete, so first what you need to do, first you need to take care of the child records, which is the records which are in a child table, and then you need to take care of the parent record. Suppose if in any of the organization, suppose I have started an organization where I am recruiting the students due to some personal issues or environmental issues, any other issues might be. So all of a sudden, if I can't leave you guys middle, right? So if I want to stay away, first I need to settle you guys. Then I can take my own decision. So here in the same. So if you want to, whenever child records exist in the child table for any given parent record, and you are trying to delete that parent record, the parent record should not delete. But here it is deleting means there is no physical relationship between these two tables. Though by seeing these tables, we can know that there was a relation, but that relation is not permanent. That relation is temporary. If you want to make a permanent relation between the tables, then we have a concept called foreign key constraint. Okay, let me show you. Same exercise I will be doing again. Drop table course, drop table student. So here course ID is primary key. Okay, create it, insert the date and check. See 1 2 3 4, and next drop the student table. Since it is already dropped, I believe. Okay. Here, in case of student table, what is the primary key? Student number. Okay. Course ID. So here, what you need to do is, here you need to define a foreign key. Constraint, foreign key, course ID, constraint name, foreign key of course ID. So we have created a foreign key constraint on this table. Okay, this references ఏంటండి
Course.
table.
Course and student.
course table course ID from the course table and create it. So here you are establishing a permanent relation. Here you are establishing a permanent relation. And now insert the data. Select star from student. Now, in the same way, earlier we tried to delete the data, right? Delete from course where course ID equals to 2. I'm trying to delete a course ID 2. For course ID 2, do you have a child records in the child table or not?
Yes.
What it is saying?
Conflicted with the reference.
So you can't delete it. If you want to delete, first what you need to do delete is delete from student. Whatever the course that you want to delete it from the course table, first you go to the child table and delete this first in the student table. So 2 records has deleted. Now if you delete, it will allow you to delete. అర్థమైందండి? మనకి corresponding if you don't have any corresponding child records in the child table, then only you can allow you to delete. Otherwise, error will trace. Suppose in case of course ID 4, if I am trying to delete course ID 4, will it allow you to delete or not?
It will not allow.
Why?
First, we want to delete in a child.
Course
You
is
don't
the
have
child
any
or
records
Will
in course
allow.
ID 4, right?
Okay.
You can directly delete. Because you don't have any child records for this corresponding record.
Okay.
Okay. This is about the foreign key. నా టేబుల్స్ లిస్ట్ ఇచ్చాను క్రియేట్ చేశారా అండి? ఎవరీవన్ డిడ్ ఇట్? ఇవన్నీ అడుగుతా అవి చేస్తేనే ఇఫ్ యు డూ దట్ ద టేబుల్ క్రియేషన్ అండ్ ఎవ్రీథింగ్ విల్ బి హ్యాండ్స్ ఆన్. టైం చూసుకొని క్రియేట్ చేయండి ప్లీజ్. ఓకే. Anyone has any questions regarding constraints and చెప్పండి.
Can we alter this constraint after creating the table?
Yes, you can by using alter statement. But if you want to alter, already whatever the data exists in that column should satisfy this constraint.
Okay.
Suppose I have a table I have a student table and the student number column already duplicates is there. Now I just wanted to create a primary key constraint on that column. It will not let you to add because the definition of the primary key is should not allow duplicates. It will not it is since it is not matching the definition, you can't. Anyone has any questions, Sandy?
Create the table with proper data types according to your table given.
I can't hear you at all, Andy. Very low voice is coming.
So actually we didn't understand clearly what you given yesterday. Some Excel file is there. So we have to create the data types according to that table. We have to bulk insert that, directly insert that Excel data into the SQL or
Your vision. So see, this is a first you need to create a table. Create a table. See here, this is actor. Create table actor. These are the columns, and based on the act ID. So here, if you see the data, these are integers. So you can give an integer data type. Actor's name, varchar. This is also varchar. This is also char. Define the table and try to insert the data. If it is possible, just try one table with insert statement one by one, and then try for alternative multiple records at once. And you can once that is done, even you can take this as an opportunity and you can do it through talent. And if you have a loop concept in talent, just loop through all sheets and make it dynamic. See, it has to come and it has to come to this sheet and it has to read this data and it has to create a table automatically, and the table name also should be this. And next, once that data is done, and then it has to come to the second sheet. It has to read the data and the table name should be generous. Like that. That is also best opportunity that you can do through talent as well. Or you can insert manually. Anything is fun. Okay, anyone has any questions on it? Okay, Lee, thank you. The next session is on Monday, and on Monday we'll start with operators. So, ఇది complete అయింది. Null and constraints complete అయింది. ఈ null handling functions ఆపరేటర్స్ తో పాటు కవర్ చేస్తారండి. నెక్స్ట్ వీక్ మొత్తం ఈ రెండు పడతాయి, ఆపరేటర్స్ అండ్ బిల్ట్ ఇన్ ఫంక్షన్స్. యా, నెక్స్ట్ కంప్లీట్ వీక్ పడతాయి. ఫార్మాట్ చేంజ్ చేసుకోండి, ప్రాబ్లం లేదు.
టోటల్ ఇంకా ఎన్ని డేస్ పడుతుంది కోర్స్?
ఇప్పుడు సోఫార్ ఇది 5th క్లాసే కదండి. ఈ వీక్ లో 4 క్లాసెస్, లాస్ట్ వీక్ 5 క్లాసెస్ కదండి. 10 to 12 ఉంటాయి, 12 క్లాసెస్ మినిమం ఉంటాయి. 12 క్లాసెస్ ఉంటాయి. See, this is self is here I have given, right? 12 classes అండి. Okay guys, happy weekend. Next class is on Monday.